Yo, what's good, everybody? What is good? What's up, y'all? I think we are in this thing. Happy Sunday. You know what? I say it every week. I think I do it every week. Let me pull y'all a little bit closer to me, get a little more intimate. That was weird because it seemed like I had a ton of gloss on my lips, but I just brushed my teeth before this. Wanted to show up right with y'all, but happy Sunday, everybody. I know it's been a minute, and welcome to Sunday Set Trip. And it's Sunday Set Trip because, you know, we are on the set. It is Sunday. Happy Sunday. We are on the set of the One Successful Failure podcast, and I am your host. My name is Trip, ThatDamn Trip on all social media. It's a weird glare today, but we're going to fight through it. We're going to work through everything. I don't know, the equipment's set up wrong, but we are here today. It's just going to be one of those days. I know you was reading the titles. I know we're going to jump right into it. I know y'all are thinking, Trip, where the fuck have you been? And I'm thinking the same thing myself. But it's funny when you want to go back to life, but then you still have commitments and consistencies and habits and routines that you are trying to build and they just don't collide. It's like life has been lifing in a good way and in a crazy way. You know, I've been taking some time for me, whether it's by choice or by force, and we'll get into that. And I've also just been trying some new routines, switching things up. And it has nothing to do with this, but it has to do everything with being able to show up for you all. But I'm here today. It's Sunday. Of course, y'all know it's Sunday Set Trip because we are on the set of the One Successful Failure podcast. I am your host, Trip. I'm the host of Sunday Set Trip, and I'm also the host of the One Successful Failure podcast. And I sit back on a Sunday with you all, and I'm me. You know, I can talk political views. I can talk, things that I'm going through in life. I can discuss things that I wouldn't normally discuss on the pod because it may be a little personal, may turn off a few brands, may turn off a few fans, may turn off a few whatever. But at the same time, too, I'm here to turn on a few people, to get you a little more deeper into me, to let you know that, I'm not one of these internet people that just jump on, state their opinion, go off and go somewhere else. Nah, I'm real. I bleed, I bruise. I don't know if y'all can see it as this arm right here. Like, I don't even know. I woke up with that. Nah, ain't nobody been snatching me up. I left those type of relationships. But I bleed, I bruise. You know, I take the bumps, and I also celebrate. I also live a little. I also win. Everything's not a loss in my world. Everything's not a failure. Some things lead to successes, and I like to share them more personal with you here on Sunday. We can get a little more intimate. You see the lights? You see the red shit? I'm at the crib. It's just me, you, the community, the accountability, the building, the vulnerability, and the things that's going on. So without further ado, let's jump into what's been going on the last few weeks, the last few Sundays, the last few times that we haven't been able to tap in for whatever reason. The schedule's either falling off. This is where I can be with you all unedited, unfiltered, falling off. I can do shit and let you know where I've been falling off in life. Failing off. That's pretty dope. But anyway, where I've been falling off to show up. A lot's been happening. I've been working on and I've been reading more and I've been trying to figure out like letting go. And I know a lot of you understand my situation, know my situation, whatever, new to finding life, letting go of the old me, letting go of old habits. But like some of the things that I've been discovering, well, first of all, I struggle with letting go. Sometimes I don't know when to let go. Sometimes I know when to let go, but I don't want to. I think sometimes I feel as if I let go of something and allow myself to forget about it, then maybe it wasn't real. I think that sometimes if I let go of something and allow room for something else, that I may be ungrateful for the thing that I had. I feel like gratitude is holding on to it. I feel like gratitude is keeping it as long as you can till it's worn out and you put tape on it. Whether it be a relationship, a car, whether it be a friendship, a job ship, whether it be a place that I live. Majority of the time, I just don't know when to fucking let go. Sometimes I'm learning that letting go isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes, I'm quick to Well, no, I can't even think of anything I'm quick to let go of, and I think that's a problem. But I tell you what, I let go of my therapist. I've been noticing that just because you go to therapy doesn't mean that you're getting help. And I've been struggling, and going to therapy and working on the tools and using the things, and I still shouldn't be feeling the same way. And this is when I noticed it took me a minute to be able to muster up the courage to tell my therapist, hey, it's not me, it's you. I know y'all thought I was gonna say, but no, it's not me, it's you. I came into this relationship saying that I got issues and I need some help. I came into this relationship saying, I wanna see you, I wanna be with you, but I wanna feel better. I don't wanna leave broken every day. And that sounds like some of the talks that we need to have with our significant others, but we're scared to have. And I think some of the times I'm scared to have those. And I finally mustered up the strength. I said to myself, hey, it's a hard thing. We're working on doing the hard things. And this is one of the hard things we're going to do. I started letting go with the person who should be teaching me an easier way to let go. I think letting go, I want to clean out my closet. But I, for some reason, I remember all the times that I didn't have clothes. I can't remember the good times with stuff. I can't say, yo, I wore this shit, man, I look so fly, I took these pictures, but now let me give it to somebody else. No. I don't know how to do that kind of letting go, even though I just said it. It feels as if a part of me is just discarded, and I didn't appreciate it. But I'm working on letting go for obvious reasons, because I'm noticing that holding on to a lot of things is driving me fucking nuts. It's like working me mentally, physically. I've been so exhausted. And I was watching a couples therapy. Although I'm not a couple, sometimes I want to see what they're telling couples and where people are lacking in relationships and where I can see some of me. I was watching couples therapy and I saw a lot of me in these couples, and they were doing exercise. They made them pick up all these balls, pause, and throw them at one another, and the balls had words written on it that they were holding, resentment written on these balls, guilt written on these balls. Whatever the person was holding towards the other person or holding towards themselves, they got to write it on these balls and throw it at their partner. And they was doing that. And then after they did that, because the funniest thing is they wanted to write as many things as they could. They just, ball, ball, ball. But what they didn't realize is at the end of the exercise, they were going to have to pick all these balls up and carry them and put them in these sauna suits that they were wearing and walk around for the next 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, whatever, with these balls, pause, in their sauna suits, carrying the words, the resentments, the built up frustrations, the whatevers from themselves, from their partner. They didn't know that they were going to have to carry them around now. And it was cool at first. It was cute. It's hot, it's uncomfortable, and we know carrying things are uncomfortable, but because they couldn't let go and because they wanted to dump so much shit on their partner, they ended up carrying so much around as well, and it started getting heavy. And then it wasn't cute anymore, all the things that they were holding in their back pocket to sling at their partner. It wasn't cute anymore, all the things that they were holding when they saw their coworker do something so that they could do it later and say, well, you know, we saw Trip do that dumbass shit, so we should get to do it too. They didn't realize that all the things that they were holding towards their parents, that they were throwing at their partners, they were going to have to carry around, or that they already had been carrying around. And after a minute, an hour, 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 120 minutes, 4 hours of carrying that around, it got hot. It got heavy. And it got uncomfortable as fuck. And it kind of made me uncomfortable as fuck in my own living room by myself with nobody here. It made me understand that, damn, what am I holding in my bag of tricks that I'm waiting to throw at someone that broke my heart in the 3rd grade? What am I waiting or holding in my bag of tricks to when my father says something crazy, I get to slang it at him? What am I holding of my mom's or my brothers or my grandmother's, something that they said that I can't let go and I'm waiting for? What am I holding that is good, that was great at one point, my relationship, my love, but it's no longer good and I know it? Why am I holding it? Why did I hold on to a dog so long? And I know this is a crazy example, but I held on to her so long to where she was miserable and I was miserable watching her being miserable. But for some reason, I couldn't let her go. I think we let go, or well, I can tell you, I think I have a problem letting go because I don't know what's next. Because I don't know if I'll ever get anything that will replace what I'm letting go, whether it's a good or a bad. I probably never wanted to let go of a relationship that was fizzled and gone, but I was scared that I would never get anything as good. I was also probably scared that I would never get anything as bad, to be able to say to myself, see, that's what you deserve. I think sometimes we hold on to ourselves too long because we're scared to change. So we hold on to the old version of us that doesn't even fit, and then we're uncomfortable, and then we're depressed, and then we act like we don't know the way out of the situation that we're in, and we do. All we got to do is let go. Let go of the control that we feel like we need in the situation. It's dead. Stop the CPR. Let go of the chest, back away from the body, and go on to something else. Go revive something else. I think I'm learning to let go of the feelings, good or bad, and understand that new feelings can be established. Understand that I felt them. They were good. Understand that I felt them. They fucking sucked. But it is what it is. I'm learning that the longer I lay in it, that I carry it in that suit, the hotter I get, the more uncomfortable I get, and the heavier the weight gets. And it's not helping me to get to where I need to get to. I don't know how to just unzip that suit and take it off completely and just free myself, but I am learning to, when it gets very uncomfortable, when I feel like a ball is in the wrong place, pause, I can understand now that all I have to do is reach down in that suit, deep down in that hotness, uncomfortability, that whatever, and at least, the least I can do is grab one of those insignificant balls and toss it off to the side. I don't even have to toss it far. It can go where I can still see it. But to get it up off of me, to give myself just a little more breathing room, I'm learning is invaluable. And it's crazy that I had to watch a couples therapy as a single person to understand that carrying the shit around of somebody else, or even the carrying the shit around of myself that happened from somebody else or I did to somebody else, is uncomfortable as fuck. And I wonder why I haven't been able to grow, move forward, be better, be bigger, because I'm trapping myself in a suit and I'm uncomfortable and I'm hot and it's heavy. And no wonder why I don't have the energy to do anything else. No wonder why I don't have the energy to be better, because I'm exerting all my energy holding on. I know they say all the time you should let go so that your hands can be open to receive. And I understand that and I believe it. But when you don't know if anything is ever going to drop in them, because you feel like nothing's ever dropped in your hand. And if it has, it wasn't yours. It was dropped in your hand for you to give to someone else. If you've ever felt those things, it's hard for you to let go of the grasp of something that you love. But I've understood the other day, and I don't know if y'all can see this. It's been a minute. Let me put them up there. I need to get my nails cut, and my timing's been off. I've been doing other things, and yes, self-care a little bit has gone by the wayside. But the great thing about it is, the other day I was struggling with something, and I just felt like I was grasping for dear life to just hold on to control, just to hold on to the situation, just to hold on to my anger, just to hold on to my emotions so all this wouldn't come out. And I noticed that while I was gripping so tight, I was stabbing myself on the inside of my hands because my nails were too long. So I let go. And guess what? No, the fucking day didn't get miraculously better. No, everything didn't change. No, everything didn't just become peaches and fucking cream, but I didn't feel that anymore. And when I didn't feel that anymore, I was like, oh, all I had to do was open my hand. I wouldn't feel that anymore. And I thought about what else in life is all I have to do is just open it up and let it go, and I won't feel that anymore. And I think that was the start of me being able to teach myself You're in control of this shit. You the one who tell you the one. See, man, I don't know. It's Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I may or may not have had a joint prior to this because for some reason I was nervous to check in with you all today. I was nervous because it's a vulnerable Sunday. Like all these Sundays aren't fucking vulnerable. But I was nervous because I felt like I just had not only let myself down, but let you down in the process of trying to build myself back up, in the process of trying to let go, in the process of doing the things that we talk about on here on Sundays, in the process of taking care of me or trying to find me. I was losing the other part that I was building. That's that letting go. So, I haven't cut my nails yet, but I think that was a beautiful reminder or a beautiful piece of torture. I think sometimes I feel like me letting go has to come with torture. And that little bitty piece of torture to myself was exactly what I needed. That couples therapy as a single person, trying to see myself in someone else, trying to see where I went wrong in my situation so I can correct it, made me understand a little bit more what other people need, what I need, what I can hold on to and what I don't have to hold on to, and how holding on to so many things, just putting them in my suit, just burying them deep, is not only not serving anybody, but it's doing exactly the opposite. It's hot. It's uncomfortable. It's holding me back for the good things that I could be putting in this suit. And I think that's my first understanding from me to me of what it means to be able to let go of the good and the bad. I think so many people associate letting go with the bad that I think that's why so many people fight it. But I also need to learn to let go of the good. You know, there's some relationships that you should just end them or politely walk away from them when they're good. The jobs, you know, the mentorships, the know when it's at the point that it can't get any better and say, hey, man, I appreciate the time. I appreciate what I've learned. This was amazing. And it's time for me to go my way and you to go your way so that we both can teach someone else what we've learned to get ourselves better and get ourselves here. I don't think, well, I hope that all of my relationships going forward, situationships, job ships, you know, commitment ships, whatever ships I choose to sail on these next coming waves, I just pray that they all don't have to end poorly in order to end. I don't think it's necessary. I think I'm learning that shit can just end. We can be good. It can be cool. And if we pick up later on in life right where we left off, great. And if we don't, man, we can know that it was well, it ended well, served everybody greatly, and it made for a great story, you know. And I think those are the things that I'm learning, probably about fucking up. I'm learning these things when things go wrong. Recently, and I can't even say when things go wrong, because if you, it's crazy. If you watch the title of this, part of the title says it seems to all work out even when it doesn't. And that's where I just was catching myself with going wrong. A couple of weeks ago, I had something to do, and I really wanted to do it, and I really thought that the Lord, the universe, was lining everything up for me. You know, I believe in manifestation. I believe in putting it out there and saying what you want. I believe that frequency, if you put it out, you can ride that fucking wave right into whatever it is you want. You just got to catch the wave, the frequency, the sound, the whatever it is, the energy, the connection, the alignment, the person, the opportunity. Whatever it is, you got to catch it. And so recently, I had something I wanted to do. I wanted to go and play a poker tournament, you know, in out of town a couple of weeks ago, last week or whatever. And a lot of things in my life hadn't been going right. Shit was just falling out of place. Shit was happening. It wasn't making any sense, and it seemed like everything, the compound effect that could go wrong was, or whoever's effect that was. Newton theory, somebody, compound interest, whatever. You know what I'm saying. It just came snowballing. That's what it was. It was a snowball effect. Whoever came up with that, Frosty, shout out to you. But everything that could seem to go wrong was going wrong. And then I found out about this poker tournament last minute. And I've been telling myself I'm going to be more spontaneous. I'm going to learn to live. I'm going to learn to fucking jump. because that's another problem that I have. I don't know how to just jump. I used to just jump, but I used to just jump too much. Now I don't know how to jump because my feet are frozen. But I said, you know what? On this new journey I'm on this new thing called life, on this fucking single life, on this exploration that I'm on, this new whatever, I'm going to learn to jump. So I heard about a poker tournament. I said, I'm just going to jump. I'm just going to go. Whatever happens, happens. But I know that if I make the time and line everything up, that if I go, I can win this thing. And that's what I put out in the universe, and that's what was in my mind. And when I said that, and when I did that, it seemed like everything had just started lining up. The money situation was lining up. The time situation was lining up. Somebody going with me so I wouldn't have to ride in silence was lining up. You know, hit up my little brother, yo, I'm coming through. Are you going to be, not only was he going to be in town, he was going to be closer. You know, everything was seeming to fall into place to let me know, ooh, I put it out there. The Lord said, yeah, this is for you. The universe made the mixer that the Lord had left a recipe for, and I was on my way. But the day before, everything that fell right into the bucket seemed to fall out the fucking bottom. It seemed like shit wasn't lining up right. It seemed like, yeah, the money was there, but the money didn't mean anything. It still wasn't making things fall into place. It seemed like I found someone to ride with me, but they were really just someone to ride with me. They couldn't help me in this situation. They were just going to be someone to fill the space. Craziest thing is I'm learning that I have so many of those people in my life. And it's crazy if you have them too, how we have to find out. But I found out this way. I was like, shit, maybe it's, but I just knew it was for me to go. But my friends kept saying, it's not for you to go. See, the Lord don't want you to go. But when sometimes people are telling you right in a condescending way, I felt like they was weaponizing all that I worked for. I guess I got offended. And sometimes we are trying to get offended ourselves and not really hear or sit back and think, why would someone who cares about us or whatever, who we don't consider a hater, would be saying some shit like this? Maybe it is the Lord. But I also thought maybe it's the devil playing games with everything that the Lord and the universe was putting in place for me, just to see how bad I was going to trust God, just to see how bad I was going to trust the mixing bowl called the universe, that the Lord was throwing the ingredients in, because I'm telling you, the ingredients was falling right into place. I thought maybe if I press it and press it and press it, the Lord will see that I really want it and everything will fall back into place. But it didn't. I tried everything I could. I kept pressing the issue. And the more I pressed the issue, the more worse I made it. The more I added ingredients, the saltier it got. The more I tried to take ingredients out, the flavorless it got. The more I tried to help the situation that I thought was for me, the more I fucked up the situation. I felt like a failure again. I felt like a loser, not like that, but like damn. I felt all those things that I used to feel within my relationship when I was trying everything I could to make it work, but it didn't seem like it was meant to work out. And so I gave up, I quit, and I started beating down on me. And don't act like I'm the only one. There's plenty of times that you've done everything you could or you thought, and you kept pressing the issue and pressing the issue, and you thought everything lined up, and it didn't. How many times, when we say beating ourselves up, I overtook accountability. I overgave myself reasons and blames as to why things didn't happen. Accountability is one thing. But when we beat ourselves up and when we take it too far and when we create scenarios that aren't even really there, I believe that there's a such thing of us over accountability. I believe that maybe it's a mental thing, maybe a mental illness. I don't know. I ain't never said my shit was all the way stable. I ain't mad about saying it. Maybe there's something in my brain that allows me to be over accountable because so many people weren't accountable to me when I was young. Maybe I'm over accountable to myself or hold myself overly accountable because sometimes I feel as if I'm the only person that I have to be accountable for or to. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only one being accountable to me. So maybe that beating ourselves up is us putting over accountability, unnecessary accountability on ourselves that we don't even deserve. But however, I started with the over accountability. I started making reasons as to why this didn't go through. I started blaming me, and then I started feeling the world crash down on me. I got lightheaded. I felt a little sniffle. I felt dizzy. I felt, oh shit. I don't feel good. Mentally, I was tired. Physically, I was tired. Emotionally, I was tired. But I don't mean just worn out like that. I mean like instantly, physically, emotionally, mentally. Something came over me and hit me like a ton of bricks. And for the rest of the weekend, I was sick as fuck. I couldn't get up off the couch. I couldn't fix myself anything to eat. I got a new member to the family. Y'all haven't met Big Chloe. Shout out to Big Chloe. Got me a new little Frenchie. I couldn't even walk her. Big Mike. Michael C. had to come through for me and take her out and feed her and do certain things and come in here and he said, see, I told you it was the Lord. And I was fighting hearing from someone it was the Lord when truthfully it was the Lord. It was that whole mixing bowl known as the universe. And instead of me understanding that, hey, the Lord doesn't give it and take away like that just to play with you. He obviously was giving it the ingredients that he knew I would need to be successful, but then he saw something that I didn't see. He knew something that I didn't know, and he changed up the ingredients right quick, and I had already had my taste buds ready for something that when the Lord and the universe switched the meal and the mixing bowl, I became ungrateful. I didn't understand that it's still a meal. The Lord prepared it, and it's still for me. I mean by that is when I didn't realize that something else could be happening. The Lord could be taking care of me in another way. I got spoiled. I got upset. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make this happen. It's all about me. And that's when I got sick. The Lord slowed me down. He sat me down. He's like, damn, I'm trying to save you. Don't you understand? Everything is not punishment. And I think that a lot of us we only know punishment and reward. I don't think we know the in-between to be able to sit back and say, what the fuck is there to learn in this situation? And what I did learn when I was laying down, fucked up, sweating, couldn't get up, felt like I was hallucinating during those 2 days, that, man, if I would have pushed the plan, if I would have kept on saying, nah, God want me to go, I wouldn't have been able to, not only would I not even be able to perform in the poker tournament, I would have kept someone else from being able to play in the poker tournament because they were depending on me for a ride. I would have been stuck in the hotel because I wouldn't have been able to get up. I couldn't even get up off my own couch. I would have been stuck out of town paying for a situation that I wouldn't have been able to enjoy, that I wouldn't have been able to take advantage of, that wasn't meant for me. And maybe I was so hard-headed that I wouldn't listen, and I kept trying to press the issue. I kept trying to be overly accountable, that maybe that was the only way that the Lord could slow me down, was completely knock me out. I don't think we should have to be knocked out to understand that if you really believe, if you know that you can have anything in this world, if you manifest, if you believe in the power of not only the Lord, but if you believe in the power of what you put out, you're going to get back, positive or negative, then there's no reason why I should not understand that even when it's not working out, it is. I'm learning it. On the couch, I was like, damn, this would have been terrible. And the insides of me felt so good to be sick on the couch, but be at home. To not be able to go play in the poker tournament was a terrible thing, but I wasn't fucked up out of town. And that was 900 times better. Yeah, they always say, see the pot of the gold at the end of the rainbow, but what a lot of people don't understand is the rainbow only happens when it's pouring down raining, when the weather's shitty, when you had some plans and everything, the bucket falls out of the sky. The rainbow only comes sometimes when you get flooded out. In the times when you're not trying to see the pot of gold. Who can see a pot of gold when your shit's floating in water, when the rain's coming down on your head and you're trying to figure out why, Lord, do I keep walking into these clouds? You're not sitting there getting soaked and wet, sitting here thinking, man, but at least there's some gold after all this. No, you're not thinking of the lesson in the blessing in the message at the time, but I'm understanding you don't have to get it at the time. And I understand now I don't have to get it at the time. But I'm learning that I don't have to be overly accountable for every fuck up that happens in my life. Some of that is made to make my situation better. Some of those things that I'm being overly accountable for ain't even my cross to bear or my accolade to receive. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and say, all right, Lord, show me for real that it's you. And if I would have did that, or maybe I shouldn't have did that, because I was like, Lord, tell me what to do. What you want me to do? And it's like I was hit with a 48-hour flu. Not even on Monday morning, I hopped up. The tournament would have been on Sunday. We were going on Saturday. He knocked me down on Saturday, knocked me down on Sunday, but Monday morning I was up fresh, not a sniffle, not a ache, not a body ache, not a care in the world, not anything. Ready to go to the gym. I got up, I went to the gym. I went and took a class that I hadn't taken in a while. You know, I took Big Chloe out. We went and did some things. I went and knocked some things off the list. When I tell you I got up and was loving Monday morning and my feeling, it's like he said, okay, I'm going to make sure that you don't keep trying to press the issue. So Saturday you down, Sunday you down, but Monday I'm going to give it right back to you and let you know, yeah, that was me. That was all me, nigga. I don't think sometimes we should have to put God to the test, put the universe to the test, whatever you believe in. I don't think we should all the time have to put it to the test to know that it's them. Sometimes we should just relieve ourselves of some of that accountability. I got to understand that I ain't that fucking fly. I can't blame myself for everything that's going wrong in my world. The same as I can't accept credit for everything that's going right in my world, and I need to learn that. And I think once I learn that, I'll stop beating myself up so much. We'll stop that over accountability. I don't know if you do it. If you're tapped into this, you do it. If you're one of those creative geniuses who just want more for yourself and your family, you do it. You hold yourself overly accountable for things that aren't even in our control. And that's some of the things that slow us down and fuck us up. All we have to understand is we are those geniuses that we say we are. We are those creatives that we say that we are. We are those humble individuals, those good people, those people of morals, ethics, or whatever it is that you say that you are. So why are we stressing? We know what we didn't put out. We know what we deserve. We either know our worth or we know what we're not worth. Yeah, you know what I mean. I may not know everything that I'm worth, but I know I'm more than that. And if you know that you're more than that on anything, in any situation, if you know you're one of God and the universe's favorites, and shit, if you're your boyfriend or girlfriend's favorite, that means you're somebody's favorite person. If you know that you hold some type of favoritism, if you got some kind of favor shining on you, if you one of them light carriers, if we're one of those people that are always, then we need to know, hey man, even when it ain't, it is. Even when we don't got it, we got it. Even when it ain't ours, it's ours. And the only reason why it ain't or it wouldn't be is because we wouldn't want it to be. We can have whatever we want to have. We can do whatever we want to do. I'm learning that. But I also have to learn that in order to have whatever I want to have, I just have to fucking have it. It's working out. Even when you don't think it's working out, even when I think, man, I fucked that up, something beautiful comes out of it. I just got to learn to find it and see it and trust it. You know, and that's another part of the process. That's another part of I have to learn to be consistent. And I think sometimes we're not consistent because we're scared of what's going to come up. We're scared of the failure. We're scared of the bumps and the bruises. We're scared of missing the message. We're scared of missing the mark. So we're like, if we're not consistent, I know for me, if I'm not consistent, I can't be hurt all the time. If I don't text a bitch all the time, I can't be mad when she don't answer. If I don't tell somebody I love them, I can't be upset when they don't say it back. If I don't reach for a goal, I can't be mad when I don't fucking get it. If I don't try, I can't be mad when I fail. And I think that's the wrong mentality, and I think that's something I'm learning to let go of. I think I gotta realize, even when that shit don't happen, even when she don't text me back, that means she doing something that's more important to me, and I need to learn that message. Or I need to understand, baby is busy. Or maybe I need to understand, she broke. Her phone bill wasn't paid. And that's something I need to move on from anyway. But whatever it is, I think I'm learning. And I think as a community, I hope that as a community throughout this journey, we've been learning, even when it doesn't, it does. Even when we feel like the goal, the prize isn't ours. If we know ourselves, if we're tapped into ourselves, if we really believe that we're that genius, that we're that solid person, that you good in any hood like you say you are. If you've been working on you if you've been working on what you want, if you've been putting that work in, there's nothing that we can't do or be or have. We just gotta trust it. I know it's gay as hell to say trust it, not homosexual gay. Y'all know what I mean when I say gay. You know it's weird as hell when you throw up the quotes, trust the process, but I think that's what we have to learn to do in order to realize if you trust the process, whatever the process is, the path that's been laid for you, it wasn't laid for no reason. If you follow the fucking yellow brick road, Dorothy, somehow we're gonna get to the Wizard of Oz. And I think that's what we're all searching for. So follow the fucking yellow brick road. You laid it in your mind. Somebody laid it for you. The path was laid for us. Understand that even if you take the wrong turn, we're still gonna get to the right place. Because we are supposed to get wherever that wrong turn took us. Have you ever just been driving in the car? I drive in the car a lot, and sometimes I got nothing on because I got so much going on in my mind. And sometimes the car just drives itself. And I'm learning to take them turns. Let go of the control and say, all right, universe, you must want me to see something. But it wants me to see it without me thinking about what it's trying to show me. So sometimes my car just says turn here, the traffic says turn here. I'm not even paying no attention. I don't even know why I turned here, but when I do, I run into a yard sale that has something I was looking for. I go past a house that I used to live at that I forgot that I fucking lived at, and it had such great memories, and it knocks me out of the shit day that I'm having. I find a new route, a faster route. I find a little cookie spot that's dipped off somewhere, and it's kind of hard to remember where it is, but it's a good little treat for me that day, and it's so good that it's dipped off because I can't remember where it is, because then I would abuse it. I love now learning to trust the process and learning that if I put it out there and learning that if I believe the way I say I believe, it's going to work out, even when it don't work out. So, I'm letting go. I'm seeing things for what they are, and I think we're, as a community, growing because I can feel myself growing. I feel myself doing things I've never done before, comfortable or uncomfortable. I feel myself thinking more before responding, and I feel myself kind of learning what grace is and when it's absolutely necessary. I had someone very special and important to me pass away this weekend. And what is crazy about it is how I was just talking about how things line up even when they don't. I hadn't seen this person in quite a while, and it's not that we really had just fallen off, it's just that shit had gotten weird. It wasn't ugly, it wasn't nasty, it wasn't good or bad, it was just weird. So I'm not going to say we broke up, we took a break, or our relationship was over. It was just what it was. I know he was good doing whatever he was doing because I was always checking on him. And I'm pretty sure the same way I was checking on him, he somehow, some way was checking on me or getting reported about to me because I was running into people that knew us together. There was always reminders that we had this thing, this relationship, and it was big because people who didn't even know me would say, hey man, that's how your pops I saw. And it was just always a constant reminder, even when we weren't together, that we had something special, that we had something that was undeniable. It was also unexplainable, but it was definitely undeniable. There was nothing that he could do to fuck up the way I felt about him, even though I felt like so many times he tried. And I know now that there was really nothing I could do to fuck up the way he felt about me. And it wasn't that I tried. It was just I tried to hide a lot of things that would happen in my life or that I was going through because I didn't know how he would feel about it, and I didn't want to change the perception. So maybe I was fucking it up because I wasn't giving him the rights to be however he wanted to be, but I knew him. I knew the things within me that he could and could not handle. So I knew the things to kind of hide him from. And I feel like now, when knowing what I know, that might have been doing what he was doing, not only just to me, but some other people in his life. This was Superman. This was our hood Superman. This was a man that had never really done any of the things that we consider accolades. I don't think he'd ever been married. Definitely never graduated from college. I don't even think he made it past the 8th grade. But he made more money than most people that I know. He lived a bigger, brighter life than a lot of people that I know who's had all the accolades, PhDs and on. And he seemed to touch more people than I could ever imagine. Even with like some celebrities. He was a hood celebrity. He was important to way more people than people he wasn't important to. He was a big deal in my world, and I like to think or know now that I was a big deal in his world, but for the past few years, we were absent from each other. And this past weekend when he passed, I got a phone call the night before, or whatever, maybe 24 hours before. And, you know, somebody was like, I need to let you know you need to go check on your boy. Well, really, the message was a little more harsh than that, but it doesn't matter. It led me to go and check on this person. And I could have held on to, well, he wasn't there when I needed him, so why should I show up when he needs me? I could have held on to, well, fuck it, he ain't been talking to me this long. I could have held on to all those feelings that I had, good or bad. But I think that's what I did. I held on to the good feelings and was like, oh shit, I gotta go, because if I don't, those good feelings are gonna be gone, and I've never let him know how good they were. I held on to the good thoughts of him, and it made me rush there instead of holding on to, well, fuck it, I ain't heard from him in 2 months thoughts, 2 years thoughts. I could have chose red or blue pill, left or right hand, which one I'm gonna hold on and which one am I gonna let go. And the great thing about learning to let go, like I've been talking about, and the great thing about understanding that it all works out is, when I did let go, I went and saw him, and it was just as if we had never, whatever it was. It was just as if nothing had ever happened, whatever it was that happened. It was just what I needed to know, that no matter what I tried to do, attempted to do, that there was one person, if no one else, that I could never run off, run away, or make ashamed of me. And they could never do that to me. We shared a moment. We shared whatever we shared. We shared a lifetime. When I met this individual, I was so lost in life. I was so lost in life, although I seemed to have everything lined up. When I lost touch with this individual, I felt like I had everything lined up again. But again, I was so lost in life. But he thought I was in such a good place. He thought I was in a spot where I didn't need him anymore, that I think that's why he decided to let go, to give room or space for someone else. But when I came to the room and when I saw him this one last time, neither one of us was like, man, I think we just remembered the good. I think we remember what we were to each other. I think that energy that people talk about, I think that natural attraction, I think whatever it was, that whenever I first met him, that made me trust him enough to be my dad, to make him trust me enough for me to be his shawty, whatever that meant. I think when we were reunited that day, or when I came that day without any question, when I made sure to get to where he was, no matter what it was I had to do, no matter where I had to be to get there to see him, I think it erased all the questions that he had about where I've been and I had about where he'd been and how we felt about the situation. And that's where it's always been with him from day one. He never questioned, judged, or asked, right or wrong or indifferent. He didn't give a fuck. All he cared was, shouty, you all right? Shouty, you good? Shouty, make sure you stay clean. Shouty, make sure you do what you're supposed to do. And at the end of the day, shouty, make sure you good in any hood. And what that meant was, be a stand-up motherfucker. Have some integrity. Don't do no fuck boy shit or fuck girl shit. And if you do those few little things, white, black, Asian, Mexican, rich or poor, you can go wherever in this world you want to go. And he never lied about that. He was an example to me of what you could be no matter what anybody said. I know they say, family is not who you're born with. Family is who you choose. And there has never been a time that I ever believed that. I was like, that's the dumbest shit in the world. Family, if you look up the definition, come from your mama, your daddy, your lineage, your heritage, whatever. But this is the time, this one time, that I understood that family is who you choose. And this is the father that if I ever had the opportunity to dive down and say, Lord, I want to pick one, it would be this one. He was an example of what it meant to be, a stand-up individual to me. Whether right or wrong, he stood 10 toes down in it. He cared about people so big with his heart that sometimes he didn't even give you all of it because he had to split it with someone else that he loved a different way. I learned so much about him on his last day that I never would have known. And I don't know if that's a sad thing or if that's an amazing thing. But I do know I was there for it. I'm always going to be there for it. And I know that this one was one I wasn't prepared for. It's like watching Superman on the last day. I was there with him from the morning time till he was starting to just... And it was just like watching Superman finally let people see that he's Superman, but then they also watched him go in the booth and take his cape off, take his boots off, and fold them up and hand them out one by one. And when normal people get to touch him, then you feel that it's not a super cape anymore. And then I felt like those boots weren't powerful boots anymore. And we watched him not go from Superman to Clark Kent. We watched him go from Superman to skip the step and just went to wherever it is or whatever it was he went to. And I think that was the hardest part. I never got to see him as a regular man. I never got to see him as a regular individual. He was always so super to me. And maybe that was some of the pressure that we all put on him to why he had to disappear at times to recharge, to why he had to separate relationships. We'll never know. I'll never know why this man did what he did, but I do know that this one is gonna hurt. This one is, I never thought that I would see it coming. You never think that you will lose somebody so good. Even though I had lost him, before I lost him, just to know that he was still around somewhere made it feel a little bit better. Maybe when I lost him during that time, I shouldn't have been trying so hard to find him. Maybe I should have let the Lord, the universe, do it again. Maybe I should have understood that when he disappeared for this last final time, it was going to be for my good, because I wasn't going to be able to take it when he really was gone. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, because I couldn't accept it, because I couldn't let go, I was blessed with the opportunity to be there at the end, the way he was for me at the beginning of my life as an adult, the beginning of my trek through these Houston streets. I wouldn't be who I am or seen some of the things or experienced some of the things if it wasn't for this individual. And a lot of times people are like, what you doing with him? They would say to him, what you doing with her? And to this day, I still don't even know how to answer that question. But the question was, we was doing whatever the fuck we wanted to do, whenever the fuck we wanted to do it, however the fuck we wanted to do it. And we weren't caring about what other people were saying. And I think that was the freest fucking time in my life. I think that was the best time in my life. And I think now that he's gone, I gotta find a way to get back to what he taught me. Do what the fuck. He never cared. People would see him with me and they'd be like, what, man? Mind your business, shawty. That's my shawty. He claimed me without any kind of restrictions, disclaimers, without any kind of shame, without any kind of whatever. And I think I need to get back to more claiming myself the way that this man claimed me. And for that, I'll be forever grateful. I think that's why this one is going to hurt so bad. I think I've craved my entire life to be claimed the way that this man claimed me, and I wasn't even his. Shout out to those who take care of those who aren't even theirs, family or whatever. We gotta learn that. Get you that one, find you that one, be that one, because it could change the whole direction of somebody's motherfucking life the way that he did for me. I think his birthday was August 25th, and I think he left us on July 25th, 1 month before his birthday. And the craziest thing is, it's fitting because he used to always disappear right before his birthday because he didn't like to be celebrated. He didn't like all the attention being on him. And if I know him like I know him, he probably dipped off right before because he wasn't in the position to handle the all that was going to come with it, all the love, because he had so much spilling over. I don't think he could take in anymore, and that's why he would be disappearing. But it would be just like him to leave a month before his birthday because he always used to dip out right before his birthday. So August 25th to July 25th, 2025. I don't even know what year he was born. I think he was close to 70. He always lied about his age, but, you know, maybe 55, I think. I think it was 8/25, 55 to 8 to 7/25, 25. Long live Freck, man. Freckle face red. To a lot of people, red, Freck, Fifth Ward's finest, but to me, that was my daddy. Shout out to my daddy. Shout out to the life that he lived, the life that he gave me while he was here, the love that he gave me while he was here. This one's going to hurt, but it's also going to hurt because I've never been taken care of so well and loved so well by somebody who didn't have to. And I think that's the most amazing feeling in the world. And on that note, shout out to you all for being here, for coming back into the community, to catching me on this Sunday, being on the set, and, you know, fucking with your girl Trip, man. This is Sunday Set Trip. You are on the set of the One Successful Failure podcast, man. Make sure you go and check out the podcast. Tap in. Check out the episodes. We got some new things coming out. Got some new episodes coming out. But every other Sunday, the Sunday after, tap in with me personally. Hold yourself accountable to be a part of the community. Shout out to you. And as always, the same as the podcast, meet me in those goddamn comments, man. Let me know. Does it always seem to work out for you? Does that even make sense? Let me know if you have a problem letting go, or if you one of those people that can let go at the drop of a fucking dime. There's some people like me that's got a problem letting go, and then there's other people that might be like you that can't hold on to shit, that don't even know to hold on for a minute. You're professional quitters, and that might not be a bad thing. I might need to learn to be a professional quitter on some things. Meet me in those goddamn comments, man. Hey, if you just want to ask me a question, I'd love to answer some questions on live about anything. You know, about me, the pod, my relationship, my life, whatever it is, family, business, anything that you can think of, failures throughout my life, successes throughout my life. Hit me in the goddamn comments. Ask me anything you want to ask me. Shout out to you for being here. Happy Sunday, y'all. This is Sunday Set Trip. You're on the set. It's Sunday. And you're rocking with your girl Trip. That damn Trip on all social media. Shout out to me. Shout out to you. We're out this thing, man. Appreciate you. Long live Freck, man. Love